Welcome my fellow Spider-Man nerds to another episode of Carlos's Bucket List, and today I'm going to be showing you my full-on breakdown and review for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Let's get it. Menu screen alone was pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. It was mysterious and creepy. Those were the vibes I was getting, setting up the mood for this game. Clicking start alone, jumping into the game right away, getting to see the backstory on what truly happened with Harry. Loving the setup and tone that this game is giving me. It feels like it's gonna be a horror game. Literally, when this moment happened, I literally got It 2017 and also Spider-Man 3 vibes. I couldn't be the only one. Very curious with the whole symbiote storyline, because by the looks of it, it looks like Norman has some type of bond with it. Just look how smoothly it came right off of him onto Harry. Also, something I want to bring up, I love the fact that this game feels like a film. And not only that, the sound design, the way it's shot, and colors, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Sadly, I can't be the only one, there are scenes in this game that look like early PS4 games when it comes to a couple of the cutscenes or cinematic scenes. And then yeah, there are a lot of scenes that look really good. The character models are very detailed. They don't look like old school PS4 models. They actually look top tier. The jokes are definitely landing in this game than the last game, that's for sure. Especially with the intro sequence involving Miles and Peter. The whole restroom thing, that was pretty funny. And that suit up scene, man, it was so awesome. It was literally student and teacher going out to save the day. Fighting Sandman in kaiju form was so cool. And we also got to see a new power of Sandman. I'm not sure if he has done this before, because I don't know if he's done it before. This is the first time I'm seeing it. How he can make clones of himself. I thought that was pretty cool. Honestly, Miles is so OP than Peter is. Just look how much damage he's caused compared to Peter. The Venom Strike, the Slingshot, Genki being there Friday or Jarvis. There's just so much in this opening sequence that I truly just loved. Miles' mom, Rita, is honestly the greatest mom. She has his back when he's in a jam. I literally forgot that she knew he was Spider-Man. The web wings and the spider arms were so epic to use. I had a blast using them. We are playing with time a lot in this game. We cut back and forth between Peter, Harry, and Kraven the Hunter. You guys can't lie, Kraven the Hunter had one of the coolest introductions. Look how huge and intimidating this guy looks. Rocking the man bun, the lion skull, and of course, the lion's mane. Did I say mane? I meant mane. Mane. After that scene ends, we pan over to a title card. I want to know if any of you guys understood that reference. We got to see a cool transition from Miles to Peter right after the Sandman attack. I honestly hope we get to see more transitions like this one between the switches with these two characters, because I dig it. It looks pretty cool. I dig it a lot. Love Genki's heavy involvement with these missions. And the whole friend thing, that was clever. That was really clever. But I bet it just makes saving the day for these two guys a lot more easier, you know? Those drones, man. I wasn't expecting them to be that fast. That really threw me off guard. And not only that, my controller was so stiff and vibrating like crazy. And it really did feel like I was like on a roller coaster. It literally felt like I was literally in a roller coaster. You guys seen that video with the dad building his homemade roller coaster? He has it on the TV, and he has his daughter, or it might have been his son, I don't remember, in a box, and he starts shaking it. That's how it felt like. I wish I said it out loud at the time, but I didn't. It's when we went to the limo saving J. Jonah Jameson. That was such a clever idea. Whoever came up with that, you're brilliant. That was smart to include that. I can't be the only one that noticed this, but I noticed an error with this gameplay, I guess. Right after Peter beats the crap out of these goons, his suit is damaged. And then it cuts to Miles, and then he does his little side quest. And then they both meet up right back with each other. And then Peter gets a phone call from the principal. And by the looks of it, his suit is no longer damaged. So I noticed one mistake right there. I can't be the only one that noticed that. Also, man, I was really excited to see Peter as a teacher, but we sadly didn't get to see that because, of course, we got to see this man suffer. He really cannot catch a break because it isn't a Spider-Man story without him suffering, sadly. Seeing Peter and MJ doing well was so great to see. I love it. I love that. But they both still have their issues to overcome, such as MJ doesn't want to move in. And it's because of her job. She needs to be close to her job so she can get the best stories as possible. Most likely, best stories gives you better pay. Not sure how the news works or reporters. I don't understand how that works, but I would assume that's the case. And Peter needs to find a job, which is his issue. Oh, I almost forgot. I love the references this game is making. There's a Homecoming reference in there, the wrestling flyer in there, and the Ultimate Spider-Man hairstyle. It was pretty cool to see. After that, we cut again to another flashback. This time it's with Peter and May. Aunt May, yeah, Aunt May's back. I guess this is gonna be their way of incorporating Aunt May into this story, because we all know that she sadly passed away in the first game. But I really do hope we get to see more scenes of Aunt May, because I truly love this character a lot, especially to the woman who's performing Aunt May. She's doing an excellent job. Balance, 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 balance. I believe that's going to be the main theme of this story. Balance. I honestly do believe that Peter will retire in this game, passing down the torch to Miles, because he can't always be doing this. He needs his life, because he has done so much as Spider-Man, and he could be doing so much more as Peter Parker, but he sadly couldn't because he had that responsibility. But now, since Miles has those powers, I'm wondering if he's gonna finally let go, because he needs to let go. It sucks, but we need this guy to live his life. We need to give this guy a break. And damn it, MJ, you literally scared me with that scream. I thought something happened to you. God damn it. But no, it was just Harry. I'm not even friends with these three, but I could just feel their chemistry right away. I can feel that bond and attachment and love for what they have for each other. This is smart on Insomniac on what they're doing. Literally, it's only been around an hour. It's only been an hour into the game, and they literally want you to explore the new environments. Like straight away, going to the Sandman battle, that kaiju battle, you head to the other side of the bridge, a place we couldn't in the first game. And now we're in the suburbs, I guess, of New York. We get to see this beautiful looking neighborhood, biking down the road with Harry. These are just nice vibes, man. And then they also present to us their high school, Midtown High. And they're gonna start going through memory lane, because after that, they cut to another flashback. But this time it's young Peter and Harry. And something that I'm really enjoying about this game so far is we're getting a lot of Peter gameplay. That was a complaint of mine in the first game. I really wish we had more gameplay for Peter Parker, like walking down the street of New York, like slice of life moments, I guess, with Peter, or him just doing some action as Peter. I was hoping for more of that, and so far this game is delivering with that. The inclusion of Rick Athletes Never Gonna Give You Up was clever. Pete, we're gonna heal the world. We've heard that line before, and that didn't end too well last time. I really don't want to see these characters suffer, but it is a Spider-Man story, and we're sadly gonna have to see that. And also saying that, I have a feeling that the symbiote is going to be involved in the healing process. I mean, to me, it kind of makes sense that it would go that route, because with what happened with Harry, because they believe that he's in remission because of the symbiote. I love how Miles and Rio's relationship has grown with just this one scene. Rio's been going on a couple dates. Now for Miles, I don't know if that's hard for him to hear, but I do know it was hard for Rio to tell him. You can see it in her eyes, you can hear it in her voice, and you can see her with her mannerisms. It must have not been easy for the both of them. Knowing these two, they'll both get through it. And finally, looks like Kraven's on his way to New York for a hunt. And I wonder who he plans to hunt. Oh, theory. I have a theory. I have a theory that involves Harry. Now, I still think he's going to be Venom, but I have a feeling when Peter gets the symbiote, Harry's going to start feeling sick, maybe dying again, which then leads him to probably wanting the symbiote back, but he can't because Peter has it. So he starts to create his own version of, I don't know, some type of symbiote, I guess, or medicine. Probably screws up and starts to create the goblin serum or whatever, and becomes the goblin. Or maybe it's Norman Osborn that tries to create a new antidote, and then he mistakenly drinks it or something, or gets on him, and he becomes the goblin. Because this feels like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in a way, like they're bringing in elements from that into this game, because in that movie Harry was sick, but he didn't have the genetic disorder. I guess he was just, I don't know what he had. I don't remember. That movie was forgettable to me. But in this game, he has that genetic disorder and he's trying to heal it. Maybe he would probably get infected with the goblin serum or something. I don't know. I literally thought of it when I saw Harry pull out the two bikes. One was red, one was green. Red for Spider-Man, green for Green Goblin. And that's what popped up in my head. Hey, what if he becomes the Green Goblin? That's a theory of mine. Love the new menu screen. It looks so relaxing, calming. It's just a nice vibe, you know. Also, just the detail alone. Just look at the way the light shines on their faces. I don't know if anyone noticed, but did anyone notice that Miles has a new mole on the upper left side of his lip? That's a new character detail. This episode, we're getting a little more Miles action. I like that. This is the first time we're actually seeing Miles more vengeful. We haven't gotten to see that side of Miles yet, which is pretty interesting to see because we have seen that with Peter and other iterations of Peter. Miles wanting to take revenge on the man who killed his father. It makes sense why he'll be feeling that way. And Miles almost went through with it, almost letting Martin Lee drown. And not just that, but we're also getting to see more of Miles' personal life in this game. We can see what he's missing out on just by the dream sequence alone. He's missing out on his day-to-day life with just hanging out with his friends. He doesn't get to hang out with them anymore. And it also goes to Rio, his own mother. He doesn't see his mother as often anymore either. And I feel so sorry for Rio at this moment. She was so excited for Miles to finally meet this guy that she's been dating. She really wanted Miles to meet him, but he sadly couldn't because spider duty calls, which then led him to not stay for dinner. I guess Uncle Aaron did get a reduced sentence because he's no longer serving time. And by the looks of it, Aaron and Miles are starting to get on good terms. Transitioning away from that, we then dive into Peter's personal life on finding a job. And it looks like he has found a job. The Emily May Foundation. I just had a feeling that was a nod to Harry's mother and Peter's Aunt May, and it was named after those two. That was very sweet of Harry to do that. I love how Peter finally has a job now, and it's not just any job, it's almost like his dream job. A job where his work and skills will be helping people, but at the same time he's hesitant due to all the spider stuff, you know. I love this new power that Peter has. It just makes stealth missions so much more easier, and it also feels like he's more of a spider, you know. Like I think Andrew Garfield did this type of thing where all the webs are spread out and he's in the middle, and where he can detect enemies just by the vibrations of the webs. This is a little similar, but instead of feeling the vibrations, it just makes it easier for Peter to go from point A to point B to point C, all the way to the D. Kraven the Hunter, I'm 100% sold on his presence every time he's on screen. By the looks of it, it looks like he's hunting down every superhuman, which is every hero and villain. He is hunting heroes because Spider-Man was on that hit list. I still want to know what his true intentions are with hunting down all these superhumans, because he has succeeded in one. He killed Scorpion. Wasn't expecting that, but that was really cool. We're getting stakes now. I just want to know what he has done with Martin Lee. Okay, the reintroduction of Black Cat. I swear she always makes the coolest entrances, but this one's more unique in particular because she fumbled. Breaking in the Sanctum Sanctorum for a magic wand, that's pretty cool. I love how the Sanctum Sanctorum is being used for the plot of the story. And I guess everyone just found out that magic is real, because this is the first time Miles and MJ are both hearing about it. But well, for Miles, seeing it. I gotta say, I really do enjoy the banter between Black Cat and MJ. It was so intriguing to listen to, because they were both with Peter. You know, they both don't really like each other, but at the same time, they really do care for one another. And we also got to see some pretty cool, mind-blowing scenes with the magic wand. Like I went to Antarctica. I wasn't expecting that. That was mind-blowing. Catching up with Felicia, Miles calling her out on how she only cares about herself. Damn, that sounded like it hurt her, because those were Peter's words. Now, I originally thought she wanted the wand so she can run away and go into hiding from Kraven. But she needs the wand so she can save her girlfriend who is in Paris. I honestly didn't believe her at first because of the whole Spider Dad thing that happened with Peter in the past. But after seeing that portal to Paris, she seems so genuine and relieved. Also, Felicia's exit was pretty fire. Now, I didn't get the chance to read this message that this sorcerer sent, but after post I finally got to read it, and I found out that Wong wrote it. I guess Doctor Strange hasn't made his public debut because this is the first time these characters are experiencing magic, and Doctor Strange doesn't seem to be doing any superhero stuff, so I guess he hasn't made his superhero debut yet. Moving on to the amusement park, I was so caught off guard when I saw Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, and Tombstone working at the amusement park. Seems that they're both on parole, and it was just really weird seeing it. This game has improved on one thing I had an issue with, a big issue in the last game, and that was we needed more Peter Parker gameplay. I wanted a slice of life or action sequences involving Peter, just Peter alone, just without the suit. And so far, this game is delivering with that. Now I'm just hoping for action scenes involving Peter, because we got the slice of life moments, and we also got young Peter doing some stealthy missions. Now I'm hoping for action scenes involving Peter or even Miles, because we already got the slice of life moments and the stealthy missions. Now all we need is action scenes. Now this has been one of my favorite lines and scenes in this game so far, and it's just a simple one. MJ saying, "You look really happy," to Peter. I just love how the scene before built up to that line so we can get this heartwarming moment. Peter is finally catching a break, getting a job, spending time with his best friend and girlfriend. And then it was ruined by Kraven's Hunters. At least this led up to one of my favorite action sequences, the roller coaster sequence. Now I love this particular sequence because how Peter has to quickly be on his feet to overcome obstacle over obstacle. Seriously, after finishing one task, we move on to the next task, and then that old task comes back to screw us over, which then leads to problems, which then leads us to finish that problem. But at the same time, there's another problem going on at the same time. There was just a lot of tension going on, which I really liked. Damn, I honestly thought Peter was gonna fail right after that apology to that woman. But Harry came through with an epic, heroic theme.
Harry? Pete?
Why this happened? A little confusing to me. But once Peter lifted up both coasters, why did both that blonde woman and Afro guy switch sides? That was just strange to see. Peter finally gets to see the symbiote in action and learns that it's part of Harry's treatment. I love how this game captures that sense of wonder between Peter and Harry, always showing their curiosity anything to do with science. Once that heartwarming moment ends, I just wanted to do a quick little side mission, a meaningless one, just to kill some time so I can continue the main story. But I wasn't expecting to see Yuri. It's funny because I was literally just talking about her too, like where has she been and all that, just to soon find out that she's this vigilante named Wraith, you fool. Now I'm very intrigued about these side missions, especially this one, because I want to know what Yuri's been up to. Alright. Harry donning the Agent Venom suit was pretty cool to see. I couldn't be the only one, but we all knew Harry was gonna show up. Especially when Peter got that phone call from Harry, and you could just hear him panting in the background. He was not working out. We all knew he was on his way, rushing over to help Peter out. I also really liked his superhero theme. It sounds so epic and heroic. Like, honestly, it reminded me of TMNT, that old TMNT movie, 2006, 2008, that CGI animated film. His theme reminded me of that moment where Leo is gliding in the beginning of the movie. Wow, dude, I can still remember that theme. I haven't seen that movie in years, since like elementary, middle school. I haven't seen that movie in years, and I can still remember that theme. Damn, that's crazy. The reason why I thought of it, because they just both sound very similar. Seeing Harry being so excited to be a superhero, acting like a kid at heart, I'm pretty sure many of us would behave that way. But it did get in the way in their mission, so Harry gotta cool it down. Saving Tombstone, man, was so suspenseful. I thought he was really gonna die, and I really didn't want him to die. I like where this game is going when it comes to release villains, because it gives you a whole new perspective on why Spider-Man doesn't kill. They should have done the same thing with Batman in his Arkham games. It just shows how these people can change, or just simply trying to improve themselves. Because I never liked this whole repetitive thing where a superhero doesn't kill and decides to put a villain in prison, and they don't learn or try to improve themselves, and then they get out and they're still the same person. I never really like that. It gets too repetitive. Only certain villains can pull that off. But I'm excited that Quentin Beck, Mysterio, and I think it's Lonnie, I don't know his last name, but it's Lonnie Tombstone, are doing whatever they can to try to change. And it also looks like Tombstone has full respect for Spider-Man too. I gotta say, I really do enjoy these action sequences in this game. It always feels like I'm on a roller coaster, you know? Like at an amusement park. So entertaining to play. Okay, next we get a small section involving Miles and his mother Real. Man, these two are so similar, especially when wanting to help their community. Glad to see that Miles is finally opening up to his mother with what he's going through. School, college, and especially Lee being out there. It must have not been easy. Transitioning over to Spider-Man, or should I say MJ, because we cut from Peter to MJ. And I wasn't expecting to play as MJ again, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I thought that. It really did catch me by surprise. Now, I'm someone who really enjoys playing as MJ. I truly really enjoy her gameplay moments. I've always thought they were pretty fun. This one is no different. Also, MJ was a lot more fun to play here than last time, because she has these new gameplay mechanics such as dodge and dash attacks. The more we pursue, we get to see that Kraven's Hunters have been busy. They've been studying Dr. Connors, and not just him, they've been studying the other villains also. Wait, I gotta bring this up. MJ getting shot and penetrated by that arrow caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I really like that, because it just shows how our heroes are not always invincible. Also, can we just appreciate the dope stealth music that's playing in the background? I literally wanted to jam to that the entire time. Back to studying supervillains, we find out that Kraven has killed Vulture and Shocker. And we also get to hear how he killed them, just by listening to recordings that he's left behind. Next, after taking down all the guards, MJ tries to free Dr. Connors, but soon fails. After it's revealed that Kraven has caught up to her. And we get this interesting belief that Kraven has. There are no good men, only good prey. Now, I found that fascinating. Connors then gets injected with the lizard serum. And also, want to bring this up, I guess Kraven didn't find MJ as worthy prey because he had 2 chances to kill her, but he chose not to. I found that pretty interesting. Soon after, Spider-Man arrives and it seems that he's finally met his match, but is soon taken down quickly with one blow, a knife through his ribcage area. Now, I can't believe I literally forgot for a moment. I literally thought Peter was gonna die in that moment. I literally forgot that he was gonna get the symbiote just for like a brief moment, because I really did think they were gonna kill him off. And it's cool because Harry passes the symbiote to Peter to save his life. And it's interesting because this was supposed to happen with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It's very similar. They both get stabbed in their ribcage area, and they were both supposed to be saved by the symbiote. Now, I don't know if that game took inspiration from that scrapped idea and transitioned it over here. I like to think so, because they're like really similar. But I found that fascinating. Now, okay, I love Peter donning the symbiote suit. He finally has his black suit, and his fighting style changes. And it makes me personally feel better because I'm no longer getting hit or dying, so that's a plus. He's more of a brawler. His moves look like they were boxing inspired. Now, Kraven looks incredibly intrigued by this, just witnessing what he did to all of his men. And it seems that he now wants to hunt down Spider-Man. But first, we need to catch up with the lizard. I have a feeling that my theory from the first episode is going to come into fruition. Literally, after hearing what Harry told MJ and Peter how he needs the symbiote to stay alive. Now, it's just a matter of time before my theory comes into full effect. Also, I want to add one more thing. I'm pretty sure we all know Harry could have killed Kraven the Hunter if he wasn't distracted with Peter dying and all. I'm pretty sure he could have killed them all. Seeing the symbiote build a relationship with Peter and Peter doesn't realize it blows my mind. I thought my boy was supposed to be a genius. Also, seeing the symbiote act so completely different around Peter than it did with the time it had with Harry just shows how much the symbiote prefers Peter as the ideal host. Man, seeing my boy Peter dripped out in that suit motivates me to finally get a black suit. Peter having the symbiote suit, I was expecting the story to start going into a darker route, but no, it didn't. It caught me by surprise. It started becoming more comedic once he got it. Like Amazing Spider-Man 2 comedic. Didn't mind it. I mean, it was a nice change of pace. But I'm sure the game is going to get a lot darker during the second act of this game. Screw these boss fights, man. Screw them. There was literally only one move I could use to beat this guy up. I am definitely cutting that down because I was literally just running around for 20 minutes. I'm definitely cutting that down. And I'm glad that I finally beat him on my second try. So happy that it wasn't my 5th, 6th, like the previous boss fights, like in the previous game and DLCs. Kraven versus Spider-Man. I was hoping for that fight to be a little longer, but it sadly wasn't. Completely understandable though. Peter is focused on getting the anti-serum so he can cure Dr. Connors, while Kraven wants to understand what Spider-Man is, or the suit he's wearing. He's just fascinated. He wants to know. He wants to learn. Up next, we got the Science Bros working on some science. Both are working on an anti-serum for Dr. Connors. And honestly, I can't get enough of these two acting like complete kids every time it's science related. Seriously, I swear this game captures that sense of wonder and curiosity of a kid within these two fully grown men. It's incredibly remarkable. Seriously, man, I want to know something. What is with this health bar? I keep dying like pretty easily, a lot faster than the first game and Miles Morales. Is it because of the spectacular setting? Don't get me wrong, I know I suck. I'm bad at video games. I'm not at my prime like I used to be. I'm pretty trash right now, but I'm hoping to improve. But man, I really do need to upgrade my stuff. The Emily May Foundation is destroyed. I truly do feel sorry for Harry, because he worked so hard to build up that place to be the way it was. I completely understand why he's upset, because that was his dream. Norman Osborn finally makes his appearance, and he wastes no time at all quickly checking up on Harry's well-being. And he also notices that he's hurt, covered with bruises. Makes me wonder if Norman's suspicious on what's going on with Harry now. Miles seems to be getting sidelined in this first act of this game quite a lot. Every time I'm Miles, I pretty much just do side missions and a sprinkle of main story stuff. He seems to be all alone, and the reason why is because he truly is feeling all alone at the moment, juggling with all these responsibilities going on in his life, which then led him to seek advice from his father. Now I'm about to start the second act of this game, I'm presuming, and I'm hoping to see more of Miles during this second act of this game. Okay, firstly, I want to say, poor Dr. Connors, man. He's been through so much pain in his life recently. He had a loving family, wife and son, and they soon left him right after his first accident as the Lizard. I love how we're seeing the backstory of these villains. I know we got to see that in the first game, but we're like really diving down with these guys in this one. But I do have to say that I never really considered the Lizard to be a villain, because Connors is a brilliant scientist who's honestly misunderstood, tragically having a terrible accident after experimenting on himself for the good of mankind. You know who that sounds like? Otto Octavius. Both Otto and Connors dedicated their hearts and souls into their research for the good of mankind. But the difference between them is, for Otto's case, that led to his downfall. For Connors, he doesn't want to hurt anyone, he just needs help. He wants help, especially now since Craven injected him with some type of serum that's worse than the original serum that he had before. Catching up with Miles, and it looks like he was spending his time with Haley. Finally, it looked like they were on some date of some kind, catching up, hanging out, and by the looks of it, Miles was about to head in for the first kiss, but is soon interrupted by Peter. You can really tell that Miles really wanted to stay with Haley, but he just couldn't. Heading to the fish market, we start to see Genki being even more useful than he already was. Man, why can't anime be like this? We then start to see this game slowly transition into a horror game. This whole East River sequence was a lot of fun to play. Seriously, just having 2 extra teammates on my side just made the whole experience a lot more better for both taking down the hunters and the Lizard. It was just a lot more enjoyable. Oh yeah, for that Lizard chase sequence, why couldn't Genki just fly up? Because we have seen countless times that these bird drones, or whatever they're called, have flown up with these spider guys countless of times. Why couldn't he just fly up? I mean, I kind of understand why, so we can get this cool looking sequence, but realistically speaking, Genki should have flown up. That's what I would have done. Also, this hybrid looking lizard looks a lot similar to the babies in the 1998 Godzilla film. I also couldn't be the only one that noticed this small little reference, and that involves the fisherman. That's a straight up reference to the 1998 Godzilla film. We need more moments like this involving Genki. Him being some type of drone, alley-ooping his ass into that gunship, and his war cry was something. Yuri Lorenthal's voice performance as Peter Parker is amazing, capturing both Peter's gentle and genuine side and also his evil side, you know? Every time he's the symbiote, you can hear his voice start to change, and he honestly does an excellent job with that. We then jump over to Harry to see how he's doing, and by the looks of it, he seems to be dying. I really don't want Harry to die, and I really hope that doesn't happen, but the more I play this game, it does look like my theory from the first episode is gonna come to fruition. Heading down deep into the sewers, we start to uncover some secrets, such as Oscorp having a secret lab down there. And it also looks like we're starting to uncover the origins of the symbiote. We then head toe to toe with one of 2 boss fights involving the Lizard, and we know how that went down. Oh what the? No, what? No! I spoke too soon! Oh! No! 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 We then cut to a cool Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton. I don't know if that was a nod to the ending for Jurassic Park, or if that was a reference to the 1998 Godzilla film. Soon right after, we head straight into a rampaging lizard running around New York City. You wanna know who's done that before? 1998 Godzilla. I gotta stop bringing him up. I gotta stop bringing him up. Kraven then comes in to take down the Lizard, but fails. Soon enough, the second boss fight for the Lizard begins, and it went down a little more smoothly than the first fight. Peter then injects the Lizard with the serum, which makes Connors whole again. Peter then takes Connors to safely into the Oscorp sewers lab. We then cut to a flashback of the origins of the symbiote to when the symbiote first arrived on Earth, and we also get to see how Dr. Connors lost his arm. Not gonna lie, Connors, you're supposed to be a brilliant scientist. That was pretty dumb of you to just walk up to an unidentified object. That was pretty dumb. Like, why would you walk up to that symbiote like that? And we also get to see this new symbiote suit. It looks fire, I'm not gonna lie. I really like the way it looks. It's so different. Nothing right after I saw that suit, we then see Peter's personality slowly start to change. And we all know that's the symbiote talking, not Peter. Peter then heads home after giving Dr. Connors PTSD. You can tell that the symbiote really loves Peter. I mean, just look at the small gestures it does for him. You can tell that the symbiote really wanted Peter to be the ideal host, or he is the ideal host. And by the looks of it, Peter was followed by the hunters, but wastes no time at all and heads straight into action. Not knowing where Peter's whereabouts is, we then start playing as MJ. During this sequence of the game, I swear MJ is so fun to play as, and every time I'm her during this game, she always gets a new gaming mechanic, and I like that. It just makes her 10 times more enjoyable to play, you know? And you wanna know what else is enjoyable? MJ's theme. That shit goes hard. Also, I want to bring up this moment. I really like this particular moment involving MJ and this hunter because she headbutted the shit out of this person. Now, I've headbutted a person before and it's not easy. It doesn't look easy and it's painful. It really is painful. It does hurt, but she took it more like a champ than I did. Earlier, MJ texted Miles to come help her out because of the hunters so he could put an end to Peter's rampage. I then take out a couple of hunters along the way. Soon enough, the redheaded waifu comes in dashing like when you text your loved one, I'm home alone. We then get this dope action sequence involving MJ sliding down with her motorcycle. No cap, MJ is high class waifu material, you know? Get you a loved one who put their life on the line just for you. Now this is what I'm talking about. The game is finally taking a dark turn, almost feeling like a horror game. I want to pause right here and just appreciate the MJ model because, oh lord, she is fine. Why did the models look this good when the game started? Because I'm not gonna lie, this game did not have a strong start when it came to the character models. They just really didn't. And I also wanted to bring this up. Are video games similar to films? Like, you know how a couple of films put in their time and effort with the CGI into the second and third act of a film? Are games similar that way, where they put all their time into the graphics into the second and third act of the game? Could be because of the lighting, who knows? I also couldn't be the only one that thought that MJ looked like Ashley Johnson right here. We are then revealed that Peter has been asleep the entire time, which means that the symbiote has been in control the entire night. We then cut to Miles taking on the hunters, and we're starting to see that Kraven's hunters are starting to play smart, tricking Miles into thinking he was saving an innocent bystander, which resulted him into getting knocked out. MJ then wakes up Peter, but then Peter tells her to run. And we also get a small tease of Venom's voice in there, which I'm not gonna lie, sounded pretty cool. Dude, I want to bring this up. MJ's eyes dilated. That's something I wanted in the first game. They had their chance in the first game for her eyes to dilate, but it didn't happen. And I honestly didn't mind that. But this game did it. Her eyes dilated. Oh my god, dude. I fucking love that. That looked amazing. The way they portrayed it, the way it played out, it looks so good. That small little characteristic, you don't know how happy I am to see that. Venom is finally awakened and MJ is running away. We get to see MJ do some cool parkour. Was not expecting that. That looked really cool. She probably took a couple of notes from Spider-Man, Sable, or even Black Cat. Who really knows? After waving out Venom, MJ makes it out safely. Soon right after, we cut to Kraven, disappointed because Spider-Man is now gone. He has vanished. And you wanna know who was still there? Miles Morales. He was still there, and Kraven then kidnaps Miles. They really are doing Miles dirty in this game. I mean, the second act just started. Come on, give me some more Miles. Peter then wakes up the next morning, and we see that he has a couple of missed calls from both MJ and Real Morales, Miles' mom. Real's a mother. Can't imagine going through that. Where's my son? You know? And we also got a text from Harry to soon meet him, because a lot has happened. For starters, I really don't like this Peter Parker. I don't like how rude and obnoxious he is. But that's also one of the main reasons why I enjoyed this iteration of Peter Parker. I like how the symbiote is changing his personality and the way he acts around his friends. I like that. You know when you're supposed to hate a character like in a show or movie, but the actor just does a phenomenal job of not making you hate him even though you're supposed to hate him? That's how it is here. That's Yuri's performance as Peter Parker right now. I also wanted to bring up this small little detail because I really did enjoy it. I love the handheld camera work in here. You know, the whole interrogation scene involving Peter, MJ, and Harry. The way the camera moved. Ooh, I like that. We then cut to Norman working his ass off to find another cure for Harry. He's doing all the research he can just to find something for his son. I don't know why it's so weird seeing Norman actually doing science work. I guess you could say he's something of a scientist himself. Everyone's upset with Peter, MJ, Real, and even Harry. Speaking of Harry, he did not like his father telling Peter that he was very proud of him. If I can remember correctly, that's something Harry always wanted. He wanted his father's approval. I think. And Rio's understandably upset because her freaking son's missing. Speaking of Rio's son, we then catch up with Miles, trying to break out of Kraven's prison. And in this prison, we discover that Vulture, Shocker, Scorpion, and even Martin Lee were held here. They were literally in prison here. We don't know for how long though. All we know is that 3 of them are dead. Honestly, all of this stuff I was doing underground felt like trials. Like if I was being tested, you know? And once Miles was done with his trials, escaping the prison, he is then guided to a gladiator arena. And Miles' challenger is none other than Martin Lee. And it was a fight to the death. And coming back to the whole test thing I was talking about earlier, it was an actual test for Miles. Escaping the prison and the battle to the death will determine who is worthy enough to take on Kraven. Because Kraven is looking for someone who can take him out basically. After a cool looking battle outside, inside, in the negative zone. I don't know if there's a name for it, so I'm just gonna call it the negative zone. That's what I'm calling it. Miles then fights through his demons and becomes the bigger man and saves Martin Lee's life by allowing him to escape the prison so he can go find Peter. Martin Lee then finds Peter and tells him about Kraven's whereabouts. Honestly, I was hoping for Martin Lee to be like some type of partner of ours, but sadly he isn't. Yeah, he's a villain, but it would have been nice to have some backup, you know? Because later in a bit, I died a lot. After hulking out on these guards with the 1-2, we then head toe to toe with an aroused Kraven. And this was honestly one of the most hardest. Oh, what the fuck is bullshit? Where is he? Where'd he go? The boss fight. Challenges I have played. Oh my god, this guy's so annoying. In like 5 years, a decade, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I played a game. I swear, this guy is 40 and he's running around like he's freaking Jackie Chan. What the hell? Look at him go. Like, you know, his little run. His run or freaking Chucky's run, you know? I swear, the way he was running reminded me of Chucky. Peter then tries to kill Kraven after he kept saying harder. That guy is really aroused to hunt and get killed. He's weird. Giving me Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. But that soon comes to an end because Miles comes to his rescue. And you can tell he was pretty pissed off about it too. I mean, that's not really a worthy death, you know, because he wanted to die. He didn't like die. Like, he didn't lose the battle. He knew he was going to lose and he just wanted to die. Like, he wanted to accept his fate. That didn't really feel... Kraven, what the hell are you thinking? Because it wasn't worthy. And to my surprise, we then switched to Miles and then we head toe to toe straight into another boss fight, but this time with Peter's Spider-Man, but as a symbiote. Honestly, this has to be one of my favorite boss fights, and the reason for that is because of the music and the emotions this fight was giving me, especially the action scenes, because they look anime inspired. Like, look at this twirl. I don't know why I was getting like yin yang vibes when they did that little twirl. And it's so awesome to see how the symbiote has affected Peter's mind. It makes me want to like study like what's going on in there while the symbiote's in Peter's system, you know? Like, I actually want to know what's going on in there. Miles then knocks some sense into Peter, leading him to have the courage to remove the symbiote in a very Spider-Man 3 looking way. And honestly, this is bothering me. This actually is bothering me, and it's just a small detail. Where the hell did Miles pull out this Oscorp jar? Like, literally, like, where did he pull that out of his ass or something? Like, where did that come from? Yeah, I know there were Oscorp supplies in the building, but wasn't that like in the dungeon area? I highly doubt it was like above. I don't know, it really bothered me. Plot hold. Soon right after, we get this heart-to-heart moment with Peter and Miles. I want to pause for a second. I want to talk about the face models because they look really good. Peter looks somewhat aged up now. He doesn't look younger like he's in high school. He looks more mature in this scene. He looks more weathered down. So does Miles. Honestly, these face models should have looked this way when the game first started, because like I said in the last episode, this game did not have a strong start when it came to the face models, especially with Peter. And I know Insomniac can produce good quality models if they had the time, and I had a feeling they kind of rushed this game because this game is not really consistent when it comes to like graphics. Like, there are cutscenes in there that don't match up with gameplay, and then there are gameplay that don't match up with the cutscenes. It's kind of like all over the place. Like, they pick and choose what scenes should have the most detailed models in there. My usual excuse would be lighting, but honestly, I don't think so. I think they just kind of rushed the game. Story-wise, I think they put their time and care into it. Graphic-wise, I think they rushed that. Back to the story. Honestly, Peter should be really proud of Miles, because Miles is literally the perfect embodiment on who Spider-Man should be. Now I'm hoping we get more Miles in this story. I really hope he's not sideline again. Because this time he wasn't. He was the main standout in this episode, that's for sure. Okay, I want to make one thing clear. I completely understand Harry's frustration, but goddamn, he didn't need to go swinging at me with his cane like that. Be swinging like the swinger for the LA Lakers. Sooner right after, the symbiote breaks out of the freaking container because Harry cracked it. Honestly, I can see this moment right here being a straight up meme.
Harry, are you? Oh God.
Harry cracks the container that the symbiote was in and it breaks out. And Harry becomes Venom. I'm pretty sure we all knew he was going to become Venom. Not gonna lie, this is the part I freaking loved about this game. I wasn't expecting to play as Venom. He was so freaking fun to play as. Because honestly, at first, I thought I was gonna have a boss fight with him. The way the camera was panning into like that fighter pose with a boss fight. And then freaking Norman Osborn just walks in there and I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was not prepared for that because my God, this dude is like 9 feet tall. And I'm honestly glad I didn't fight him right away because look at his moveset. Look how aggressive my guy is. Breaking bodies, snapping them in half, breaking their spines, eating people. God damn. It was so enjoyable to see. But damn, the way he broke that dude's spine once I first saw it. Ooh, okay. I also love that the fact that Venom's theme has been playing throughout this whole entire game. And none of us even knew it. None of us even realized it. It was the Emily May theme. That was Venom's theme, but just played differently. Or is that considered Harry's theme? Because I just realized it usually plays when Harry's is on screen. That might be Harry's theme. Well, I thought Harry's theme was like that super heroic Superman sounding theme. That one. And we also got a lot of Avengers references in this movie. Well, the first Avengers. We got the Hulk and Thor moment. We got the Hulk and Loki moment. And we also got the Hulk and Fighter Jet moment. I feel like this game is taking a lot of inspiration from like past projects. They jot down these ideas and then they sprinkle them in here. Kraven then shows his face to challenge Venom to the battle of the death. And honestly, pausing right here, can we just appreciate the cinematography in this game? It's honestly amazing. I always bring it up, but seriously, it is amazing. It has its moments and sometimes it doesn't. But god damn, just look how gorgeous it looks when it comes to lighting. Okay, after reviewing the footage, I just realized that Harry was still technically in control. This entire time, I thought Venom was in full control of Harry. But no, Harry is in somewhat control of Venom right here. Just by listening to his conversation with Kraven. And when you think about it, Kraven and Harry are pretty similar. Both their bodies are just giving up on them and they're trying to find some sort of way to... Wait, I just corrected myself. Kraven's not looking for some type of cure to heal his body from what's happening to him. No, he's pretty much just taking drugs to enhance his body, I would assume, or for it to just still be healthy so he can get a worthy death. He wants his body to still feel like he was at his prime so he can challenge someone and then that person can kill him. And for Harry's case, he really needed the symbiote to stay alive. Venom then beats the absolute crap out of Kraven, and soon right after, Venom bites off Kraven's head off. I wasn't expecting that. Do you see the way he was munching down on that shit? God damn! I freaking love it. Harry then heads out to seek advice from his mother, but sadly he can't hear her calling, I guess, because Venom starts to influence him. And what Venom pretty much wants is genocide. He wants to Thanos everyone so he can make his own world. Kind of generic, but I guess it is what it is. Peter then wakes up from his fat ass nap. I don't know why this moment gave me hangover vibes. Heading out searching for Harry, we soon find out that he's been busy creating these mini symbiote spawns. I think I worded that wrong. These guys are so OP, we have to freaking call Miles so he can make some mixtapes, just so we can have some sort of advantage. We also learned that Venom has taken over the subway, where Genki and Rio are held, and they're still trapped in there too. This moment right here honestly got me scared because I thought one of them was going to die. I really didn't want any of them to die. So happy to see that no one died, and honestly seeing Genki and Miles' friendship just hit right at home. Not gonna lie. Love that bond that they have for each other. Miles really wants to make time for Genki. Genki wants to be more completely honest with Miles as well. And look, he's seeing someone too, which is great to see. We then try to catch up with MJ, face calling her. Finally, another way to communicate with someone in this game. And also MJ was in some type of Zoom call with their wonderful boss, J. Jonah Jameson. But Peter and MJ's call soon comes to an end once Harry arrives. Also, heading over there to put a stop to Harry, we get this call from Dr. Connors stating that Peter could have the symbiote lurking around inside his body. I just wonder what that could mean. Arriving to May's house, we see that Harry, looking like Slappy the Dummy from Goosebumps, is there. And by the looks of it, he just wanted to have a wonderful chat with his two best friends. You know, the usual, right? Taking over the world, that sort of stuff. And honestly, I like this light to darkness imagery right here. Interesting color choice for Harry. Wonder why it's green. I almost forgot this. Harry said the thing, but better than Tom Hardy. He said the line. He said, "We are." I can't do it justice. I had to add that clip in there. Okay, honestly, I don't understand the hate for MJ. I really don't. I don't know if it's anything political to do with her. I don't see anything political with her, to be honest. It just feels like she's just a character that just wants to do the right thing. That's how I see it. I don't see nothing forced about her, unless actually there were like 2 moments in the first game that kind of felt forced. This one, I don't see anything. It's just her trying to do the right thing. I mean, look at this chick protecting her hubby. And honestly, man, this game does a good job on literally getting you on the edge of your seat. Honestly, what is this, like second, third time I thought MJ was gonna die? What the hell? And honestly, out of all the moments she was close to dying, it's because she wanted to protect Peter. Like I said, high class waifu. And another thing I like to add, I love the usage of the symbiotes in this game. The way the symbiote is portrayed in this story is very well done, because when the symbiote latches on to its host, it channels their inner emotions and they share them to the world. We got to see that with Harry, Peter, and then Harry again, and now MJ. This whole entire time I thought the symbiote was in full control of Peter, but no, Peter was in full control. It's just that the symbiote kind of had some influence in his behavior and stuff like that. Pretty much just letting out all his frustrations on what he's going through as Spider-Man, you know. Same could be said as Harry when he was happy and wanted to heal the world. And it's also the same right now with Harry as Venom, but just 10 times worse. Peter then soon gets MJ to realize that she's not acting like her usual waifu self, teaming up to remove the symbiote, and resulting in the two finally making up. Or should I say making out. Also, I want to bring this up. Why the hell did MJ have so many freaking boss fights? Well, how many boss fights did she have? Like 3, 4? God damn! She had so many. I really hope Venom doesn't have that many boss fights. Heading to City Hall so the cleanup crew can put an end to Venom's rampage. Wow, I struggled to do all of that, fighting all the Venom spawns. I get knocked out to the ground. Wow, it looks like I'm about to get finished off by the Venom spawns. Marley's Mr. Negative makes another appearance. Literally, my guy makes a surprise appearance to save the 2 Spider-Men. I know this guy's a villain. I don't really care about that, to be honest. I'm just happy that he showed up to help us out this time. We then enter Peter's mind to find the source to Peter's pain. I like this right here, showing all of Spider-Man's villains. And especially this scene right here. The Sinister Six beating the crap out of Miles. I feel like I've seen this before. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this play out, I felt like I've seen this before. I got like deja vu. And we do see that Peter has a lot on his mind. Thinking about the people that he's put away, putting criminals away just so they can escape again. And like what Miles said, it's a part of the job because Peter believes in second chances. After arriving to the main source, Miles and Martin Lee finally have their closure. Miles then straight up tells Martin Lee that he won't forgive him. Completely understandable. After clearing out the Venom spawns and the main source, we find out that the main source this entire time was the loss of Peter's Aunt May. And this time Miles is actually there for Peter this time. Peter then wakes up like the freaking Undertaker and then gets a new suit, a white suit called the Anti-Venom suit. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks freaking gorgeous. I love it. I love the simplicity of the design. I like the big eyes. It honestly reminded me of this comic book artist that drew Spider-Man in the past, but I don't remember his name. I'll put him on screen right now. Once finishing off the rest of the Venom spawns, Peter then thanks Martin Lee for helping him out. And by the looks of it, Martin Lee plans to turn himself in. And also this game is slowly teasing Peter's retirement as Spider-Man. Well, to me at least, it really does look like Peter will be passing down the torch to Miles. Catching up with MJ, she tells Peter that she plans to move in with him. Finally, that took you long enough. My God. Honestly, it was cute the way she told him that she wanted to move in with him, not gonna lie. Connors then calls Peter and we soon find out that Venom is at the Oscorp sewers lab. I like this scene right here where Norman said, "Just give me back my son." And Venom just replies back with, "We are your son." Oh, I just felt that, you know? And the way how Norman just can't bear to even look at him just pisses Venom off. He just sounds so intimidating. I like that. Venom then achieves his goal in acquiring the meteorite that he was looking for. I can already tell that the boss fight involving Venom is going to be really hard. I can just already tell it's going to be harder than Kraven. I can just tell just by one scene alone. And that's when freaking Venom smacks Peter. That's like the second time he smacked Peter away and kind of knocked him down for a while. Dr. Connors then tells Peter the hard truth. And it sucks too. Harry's gone. He's gone. According to Dr. Connors, the symbiote and Harry are perfectly fused, and we're left with a choice. We can either kill the host, which is Venom, or just try to save Harry, even though there's like the slightest little chance that he's still in there and alive. And honestly, man, poor Norman, Like, I'm not gonna lie, just look at this guy. He just wants to save his son. He already lost his wife, and he's doing whatever he can to save his son. You can tell this man has been through a lot. We then cut to an exterior shot of New York. And honestly, I couldn't be the only one that thought of Transformers when seeing this scene. I don't know why I thought of Transformers. I thought of Dark of the Moon, especially with this bluish green tint that this scene had. We soon meet up with Miles, and we get this heart-to-heart moment between Miles and Peter. How Peter doesn't want to go through losing another loved one again, because he still feels guilty in losing Aunt May, because he still believes that was his fault. While Miles tells Peter what happened to May wasn't his fault, and Miles brought up a good point. If May and his dad were still alive, they would want the two to stop thinking about them and focus on helping people and to continue to fight. And soon right after, Miles takes the lead in the mission of taking down Venom. And honestly, I want to bring this up. I can't be the only one who didn't really like the new Miles Morales suit. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling the suit. It doesn't look like a Spider-Man suit to me. It feels more like a homemade prototype type of suit, you know? Which I hope it is, because it doesn't feel like Spider-Man to me. And I didn't realize that this is basically a sponsor because he's wearing Adidas shoes. And honestly, I didn't understand the headpiece. Like, why is he showing his head? But when you really think about it, Miles is growing out his hair, so I'm pretty sure he needs like breathing room up there, or else it's gonna look all weird and bulky. So I understood that, but like, why aren't you wearing boots? Why are you just wearing sneakers? Like, what? This new suit honestly just came out of nowhere. Miles then takes out a couple of the Venom spawns and then enters the Venom hive mind. Miles is then shown the meteorite and that Venom wants Peter. Venom tries to separate the two by putting Haley in danger. Miles then heads to save Haley, and he does so, and he asks her out on a date. Oddly placed, I'm not gonna lie. While Peter heads to the subway alone to save Harry. After taking down a pack of Venom spawns that were so annoying, I swear to God, Peter then falls for Venom's trap and is also shown how they can both heal the world together. Miles then saves Peter again. What is this, like the 6th time that he saved Peter? They both end up escaping. Peter knows where the meteorite is located now. Well, I don't. Who knows? It's probably in Emily May or something, or Harry's mother's grave. Who knows? We head to Aunt May's house to start some sort of game plan. And honestly, the game started to feel like some sort of heist, you know? And I really liked it. And hopefully by the end of it, we get to have some churros, because churros sound delicious right now. And honestly, in order for this plan to work, it's truly up to both Miles and MJ's part of the plan to destroy the meteorite for the plan to actually work, to heal the world. The spider team then heads to Venom's lair so Peter can distract Venom, playing a game of catch a mouse. Not gonna lie, kind of wish we had gameplay elements, just like the Miles and Lizard mission. I kind of wish we had something similar to that with Peter and Venom doing the whole cat and mouse thing. Miles then distracts the Venom spawns while MJ heads over to get the meteorite. Honestly, bro, what is wrong with the MJ missions? They are so fun to play. It's like so exciting to play as MJ, especially this time because it felt like I was playing GTA. Dang, I just realized I haven't played GTA in almost a decade now. Anyway, MJ then successfully acquires the meteorite, and then Tom cruises her ass out of there. Hey, okay, honestly, I want to bring this up real quick. I couldn't be the only one who thought of Spider-Man 2099's theme during this particular moment right here. I swear, I felt like I heard it. It sounds very similar. I can't be the only one. We then cut to Peter getting chased by Venom, and this game just had to bring these two back to where it all began. Their high school, Midtown High. And no lie, Venom's boss fight was so hard playing as Peter, and I'm gonna tell you why, because you're gonna see in a bit why it was harder to play as Peter. And honestly, man, was it just me, or were the Venom spawns more OP than Venom was? Those guys took me down so fast. I hate them. I hate them a lot. They were too OP. Okay, pausing right here. I want to bring up Venom's facial expressions. I love how you get to see how excited he is, how frustrated he is, and even when he's angry. The way he moves his eyes, you know, it's so well done. Venom then chokes out Peter Winter Soldier style, and this guy really grows wings. This game is giving you everything. Literally, it started off with Harry as Agent Venom, and then he becomes Venom, and then he becomes this hulking, overpowered Venom, and now he becomes this dragon-like Venom. What the hell? Literally, this game is giving you everything. It's not holding back. Cutting to a Zack Snyder-looking tracking shot, like the one from Zack Snyder's Justice League. We then head to the Emily May Foundation to destroy the meteorite. But freaking Venom arrives with the freaking limped-out Peter looking like Woody from Toy Story. Peter then gets taken down, which means we have to play as Miles to try to take down Venom. And honestly, the boss fight this time was a little bit more easier. Yeah, it was challenging, but it was a little more easier. I didn't die as much as Miles because Miles has a lot in his arsenal. Venom also tries to kill Miles, but then MJ saves him. And we soon get to see Harry, and he's still alive. You could just see how worried he was, how scared he is. Just look at his face, sweating. pale. He just looked terrified. We soon get this epic cinematic scene involving the two Spider-Men taking down Venom, trying to stop him from fleeing away with the meteorite. And I just love this, man, the way it's shot. Just look at these shots. And honestly, I feel like this particular shot right here was like a little reference or nod to the Venom poster with Tom Hardy. Peter doing whatever he can to save his best friend Harry, but Harry's telling him otherwise. Man, just imagine having your best friend tell you to do the unthinkable. Can't even imagine that. Asking you to end their life. Oh my god. Seriously, I can't imagine that. Okay, this moment right here. Seriously, man. Bro, the music was literally getting me in my feels. Especially with the I love you line. That hit me, man. That hit me. The Viridian symbiote is then destroyed and we see Harry lifeless. Now, I want to bring this up. Every scene involving Peter and Harry during this final act just reminded me of my best friend. I don't know why. He's not dead or anything, but I just thought of him. I don't know why I was getting so emotional. It was probably most likely because of Yuri Lorenthal's voice performance, because it is phenomenal. It is amazing. This man deserves an award. Like, I truly do mean it. His voice acting was amazing, especially with the thank you also once Miles revived Harry from the dead. This scene right here really does not make any sense to me at all. Norman asked me to save Harry, and that's what I did. Why the hell are you pissed off? I saved his son. That's what he asked for. And did anyone notice the green bomber jacket he was wearing? And also the G serum? Foreshadowing. MJ starts the podcast, calling it the new normal. It looks like Peter's going to be taking a break from being Spider-Man, so he can focus more on being Peter Parker, which I love. He deserves to be Peter Parker. He's done so much as Spider-Man already. Let the boy live his life. Give him a break. I really love this idea. It gives Peter the time to develop and build his relationship more with MJ. Who knows? They can probably start a family. Who knows? And then Peter passes the torch down to Miles. Called it. I'm honestly surprised that my theory from episode 1 kinda-ish came into fruition in a way. My predictions with Peter and the symbiote and Harry and the whole Norman creating his own goblin serum. And the last thing I predicted was Peter retiring and passing down the torch to Miles. I predicted all of that, and it kind of came true in this game. Like almost every single thing. Like I went from beat to beat. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. But this game isn't over yet. We have a post-credit and end-credit scene. Otto Octavius having plans of some kind called the final chapter. And no lie, I get props to Otto for not giving away Peter's identity. And then we get to the last scene of the game. Miles and Haley become a thing, and we finally get to see who Rio has been dating this entire time. Now, who has she been dating? No lie, I honestly thought that the game developers were gonna give us a whole new original storyline again, like how they did with Harry and Venom. I thought that Rio was gonna be dating Captain Gwen Stacy, which will then bring us the character Gwen Stacy. But no, we're not getting that. We're actually getting something a little bit more cooler and unique, which I don't think has been done before. We get this character named Albert Moon, and he introduces everyone to a faceless daughter named Cindy Moon. And we all know who that character is. She's no other than Silk. Okay, what do I rate this game? There's a lot of things I like about it, and there are a couple of things I didn't like about it. For example, I didn't like how Miles wasn't in this game that much. Yeah, I get why, because this isn't really Miles' game, but if you put this guy on the cover, you would expect him to be in the game quite a bit, but he wasn't. He was sidelined quite a lot, and he was done dirty quite a lot. But they redeemed him at the end, kinda. What I mean by kinda, they kinda did him dirty with the new suit. But besides that, I didn't really have any other problems with the game. It's just that Miles was sidelined quite a bit in the game. We did get more Genki, which I appreciate. Thank you. We did get a bit of Rio, but not as much like we did in Spider-Man and Miles Morales. Honestly, the character models are actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. There were scenes in there that weren't consistent, and that kind of took me out a little bit. Honestly, this game does need a remaster. It really does need a remaster because it really wasn't consistent in the first half of the game. Once the second act starts and the third act starts, it's fine. It's the best the game can look. But the first act was... it was wonky when it comes to the face models. Honestly, I don't see anyone bringing this up, but Peter and MJ's face model, and also Harry's, I actually preferred this Harry model over the other one. Their face models are actually really good, and I'm pretty sure fans would have loved those face models if they were put on another character. And what I mean by that, the reason why fans are still mad about the Peter face model and also the MJ face model is because they replace faces that have already been established. Now, if you put these two face models on other characters, people will be, oh, they're good looking, they're cute, they're hot, oh, they look amazing. But sadly, it's not gonna be that way because they replaced the old models with these new models, which they didn't have to do. But besides that, I honestly think that the face models looked amazing. Just at the first half of the game, like I said, the first act of the game looked wonky to me. But story-wise, oh my god, the story was so good. I love the plot of the story. Saving Harry, that was our main plot. So simple, but yet complicated. I like it. Yuri Lorenthal's voice performance was amazing. We get his genuine and evil side as Peter. Whoever the voice actor is for Harry did an excellent job. Miles, I feel like I didn't get enough of Miles. I feel like he should have been in it more. MJ, I thought MJ's voice performance was amazing too. When it comes to villains, ooh, this game executed with that, doing something new and unique with their villains. They brought Lonnie Tombstone and Mysterio. They're trying to be good people now. It's not them always breaking out and then still continuing to be a villain. No, they actually were released or on parole, if I can remember. They're on parole and they're trying to change their lives. And it even takes you back to that scene where Peter's always thinking about the villains he's put away because he actually believes in second chances. And look, just look what Peter achieved. Look at these guys, they got their second chance and they're succeeding. And there are only a couple of villains that can really pull it off when it comes to like always getting released, still being a villain, causing mayhem. Kraven was done well. I love this Russian aroused bastard. I swear he gave me Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. But I love how intimidating he was and he killed villains, man. There were stakes. Okay, stakes. I had to bring this up. There were stakes in the first and second half of this game, but then the third act happened and then the stakes were all gone. Like no one was dying anymore like in the first and second half of the game. Kind of disappointed with that. I mean, it would have been cool if they did kill Harry off, even though I didn't want him to die. But what can you do with Harry now in the third game? Like seriously, what can you do with Harry besides him laying in a bed all day? But I understand why they didn't do it, because Peter really needed a win because he's a tragic man. He has so many tragic stories. I'm so glad they gave him a break. And I'm so happy that Peter's finally catching a break. Hopefully he does start a family and hopefully Mayday comes in. I really hope to see Mayday. I really hope. Like, come on, man. I'm surprised he hasn't put a finger on that woman yet. High class waifu. No lie, when Peter took MJ outside, I honestly thought he was gonna propose, but no, he just ended up showing her that he's serious and committed with MJ. That yeah, he's gonna get a job, he's gonna provide for her, so she's not the only provider for their family. He's taking initiative, man. Starting in the garage, you gotta start somewhere. My rating for this game is gonna be at 9.5. That feels right for me. It was almost out of 10, but there were just a couple of little nitpicks in there for me. I mean, there are a couple of plot holes in the game, like such as what happened with Dr. Connors, what happened with Tombstone, what happened with Mysterio, and a couple of loose ends. But besides that, I think a 9.5 is well deserved for this game. Does this game deserve Game of the Year? Oh, yes, it really does. Even though this is like the only game I played that came out this year. But it should be nominated for Game of the Year. And that concludes the main story for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Thank you for having time out of your day to watch my video. What did you think of this finale? Be sure to let me know. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, be sure to let me know what else I should put on my bucket list. Because up next on my bucket list is going to be The Last of Us Part 1. And stay tuned for that. Later, guys.